The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Happiness Jungle TV show, CamiBaker.com. Happy to be happy in the Happiness Jungle today. We're fabulous, fierce, on fire too, because we have Bobbi Carlton. Bobbi is a phenomenon in the Boston area with her massive group and getting women on stages and being so inspired and innovative. Bobbi, introduce yourself to everyone and tell them a little bit about you. What do you want us to know about you?
All right, so I'm a multi-talented, multi-companied person. Where other people are serial entrepreneurs, I'm a parallel entrepreneur. So I have 3 companies: Carlton PR Marketing, Innovation Nights, and Innovation Women.
Interesting. So serial would be one after the other, but parallel are all at the same time.
Yeah, they couldn't stop me.
I love that. I love that. And I don't always have my book on the show, but I wanted to give you a autographed copy. Woo. So I'll just hand it to you right. It's kind of like when you give the check over for Publishers Clearinghouse. It's not quite as important, but it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Nicely done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Lamb shot, too.
Isn't it?
Very
So
nice.
Bobbi and I met out in the networking world, although I don't call it networking. Networking
It's
is
just being personable.
well, you know, you could call it connecting too, but since people use the word network and that seems to really upset people, I just say, you know what, networking sucks. Networking doesn't really work, it's random activity. Netwebbing leverages time through planned strategy.
Nice.
And
helpful hints.
Helpful. As a matter of fact, the woman who is the editor and publisher of my book has been a networker for years and years. Her family raised her in network marketing. She's been reading books like that and speaking on stages since she was 13.
Oh my gosh.
And when she read it, she said, "Oh my God, this is different. It's brilliant. It's refreshing. It's new." So, she wrote one of the forwards in there. Anyway,
Nice.
So how in the world did you get started with all of these companies and helping women get on stages? And what was it you just said? The male pale stick. Get rid of the male pale stale speakers that are out there.
We don't want to get rid of them entirely. We just want to make sure. Oh.
No, we don't.
We just want to make sure we can share the stage. We are combating the all male, all pale, all stale panels.
Love it.
So you want more diversity and inclusion on stage at conferences and events, and obviously women want the visibility that comes from speaking engagements.
Let me ask you, I have heard that one of the reasons that women aren't more prevalent on stages is because women aren't good at sales. That men are better at sales, and that's why the people that run events want the men on the stages because they're better.
Wow, so
you look horrified.
Yeah, I'm horrified. Well, number one, nobody actually at a lot of the technical conferences, like you actually get dinged for selling from the stage. Nobody wants to hear your sales pitch. They want to hear what you know and what they can learn from you. So sales,
maybe it's
speaking,
an old paradigm.
Yeah, I think that is. Or maybe it's a different type of speaking engagement. There are real reasons that there aren't as many women on stage as men.
Tell.
So, secrets. Number one, women do actually turn down speaking engagements more than men. They get the invitations and they're more likely to turn them down. Yeah, I know.
Now see, I'm like, what?
Yes. Yeah. All right. Real reasons. Number one, women are more likely to work for small companies and they're more likely to work part-time. Both of those are reasons why women are like, I just can't make it out of the office. You know, I'm only working 2 days a week, or I'm only working 3 days a week. Hard for me to get out of the office and leave the office behind for a speaking engagement.
I personally am full-time with what I do. In case anybody's watching, just to let you know, unless it's really crappy, I won't turn it down. Go ahead.
Okay. Number 2, women are still more likely to be taking care of home and kids in addition to working.
Right.
And so it's really hard to do the keynote address at a breakfast meeting when you've also got to drop somebody off at school at 8 o'clock.
So we're just more responsible.
We're more responsible for more things. There's also the perpetuation of speakers, which is what I call the fact that an event manager will go to another person's event and they'll go, oh, that person, yeah, they're pretty good. I'm going to invite them for my event. So you get on the circuit. So you just hear the same people over and over again at events and conferences. For a while in Boston, I swear there were only 5 female startup CEOs. Because you saw the same 5 over and over and over again. And they were all awesome, which is why they kept getting invited again and again to speak. But it was like, okay, there's more than 5 of them. Let's invite somebody else.
So are you saying that based on the fact that women actually turn down speaking engagements, that the people who run events are just less likely to even invite them for fear that they'll turn them down or not show up? Or?
No, I think it just contributes to fewer women on stage.
So what can we do to fix that?
Say yes to speaking.
And become part of your group.
That too.
And have the right code to put in to become part of the group when I put it on Facebook that day.
Yeah.
So talk to us about your group, how you started it, what is your mission, all that fun stuff.
All right. So I started Innovation Women because of one of my other companies. So I run an events group in Boston called Mass Innovation Nights. Monthly product launch party and networking event. Every month we help launch at least 10 new products. And we created a process for social media amplification where we drive about 2 or 3 million views a month.
Wow.
Using social media. So whenever I show up, the social media party has arrived. So I get a lot of invitations to events, and I would sit in the audience and watch the same, 5 guys up at the front of the room while, there happened to be 6 or 7 women sitting next to me who probably knew more about it in terms of any given topic. And I would talk to event managers. I'm like, a little more diversity on stage wouldn't hurt you none. And I started making some connections for women and for event managers manually. And I realized it could be a full-time job. And so I did a crowdfunding campaign. I raised $22,000 to hire developers to build Innovation Women as a platform. And I wanted it to be self-service, so both speakers and event managers could go in and sign up and connect online. And so that's what we created, a self-service platform for event managers and speakers to connect directly. So a traditional speakers bureau will get in the way a little bit. They're going to take a percentage of your speaking fee if you're a person who gets paid to speak. They're also managing logistics, and they're making sure that you show up on time at an event that's great. And, that's wonderful. That's a real service, and that's valuable and worthwhile, and they should get paid. But it leaves out people who speak primarily for visibility for themselves and their companies. It also leaves out a whole bunch of people who are growing into speaking opportunities, who are doing panels now, or other types of things besides keynotes, which they might get paid for.
Well, I know I'm doing a speaking engagement in about a month, and it's been set up for about 6 months, and I've been trying to, the middle person, the one that's getting in the way, like I just want to know exactly what I want to talk to the people so that I can tailor my talk to really suit the audience. And I've hit a wall. All I want to do is have a 3-minute conversation with somebody, and ultimately now the engagement's coming up in about 30 days, and I'll just talk about what I always talk about. I wasn't able to tailor it because this person literally was it was almost like a linebacker. Don't talk to my client.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so it is. It can be really. So this is a great avenue for us as speakers. And I'm actually a member of your group, and I have not used it to my advantage. And I see the emails come, and there's so many opportunities. And I see, oh, you know, if you're speaking, we'll highlight you. And if you've got a book coming out, and if you're doing and I think to myself, should I be sending you an email?
Yes, you should. All you have to do is hit reply on the newsletter and just type in, like, you know, I'm doing this. And we'll put it in. Yeah, that's it. That's simple. We have a weekly newsletter that goes out. Well, we have two of them, actually.
Yeah.
One goes out to the event managers and one goes out to the speakers. And the speakers get a huge long list of opportunities that they can apply for. And when they're on the platform and they have a profile on the platform, event managers can hit the invite button and just directly invite them.
So when I send the reply and put all the places that I'm speaking, do the event planners actually see all of that too?
So they are getting that newsletter with, you know, Cammie's doing this and Cammie's doing that, and look at Cammie's new book.
Holy crap, I've been missing out.
Yes.
I'm going to get on that this week. So I'm going to send you like 8 things.
Awesome.
So do I send my photo every time, or do you already have that?
We already
on
have
file?
it
You already
right
have
in
it
the
on file?
profile. Yep.
That's awesome.
Unless you want to send like a book picture or art, we do that too.
Nice.
So yeah,
Nice.
Anything to make it more interesting. And you know what? Speaking begets speaking. The more you speak and the more visible you are, the more speaking you will do.
Well, and that's what I tell people when they say, well, I don't know how to get speaking engagements. Like, look, there's tons of... create your own meetup, get on the stage, somebody will be in the room, and they'll say, hey, can you speak for my group? And before you know it, it takes off. Now, having said that, we still always want to up our game and get bigger stages and all that. So, but at least that's one way to do it.
And when you do that speaking engagement with your group, have somebody pull out their phone and take video of you. That is like the #1 tool for event managers, to look at a video of a person and say, oh, they can put a sentence together, they're understandable, they're clear, they have some life to them.
Right. Well, I'm actually having a speaker reel put together right now. Mike Connell is doing it for me. I had one a couple years ago, but I wasn't crazy about it. And it was just photos with music as opposed to me talking.
That's not the, and you know what? Just a plain old video that somebody took of you on their iPhone, that works too. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to be all fancy with sizzle reel type things. It can just be a video of you speaking.
Now, are your speakers just in the Boston area,
Nope.
or is it
All over the world.
All over the world.
Yeah, in December we actually posted our first speaking engagements that 2 of our speakers got in London. So we've actually placed speakers outside the country as well. I mean, obviously we're super strong in Boston because this is where we started.
So clearly, as a member, I have not been using my membership to its ultimate advantage. So the speaking engagements that come through there, are they free? Are they paid? A little bit of both? All of it?
The reality of speaking engagements and speaking and getting paid is that 50% of all event managers have no budget for speakers. 42% only have budget for some speakers, and that could be I have speaker budget for keynotes, or maybe I have travel budget if somebody needs to travel to get to me and I want to help them out. And then 8%, that's it, of event managers pay all or most of their speakers.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's a reality. Like, people are like, oh, I'm going to be a speaker and I'm going to go get paid. I'm like, all right, let's start off with that reality, and then look at how you get value out of speaking. Maybe you get paid to speak, or maybe you've got a table in the back and you're selling your books. Or maybe the event organizers are buying a book for every person and putting it on every chair or in the bag. So there are different ways to get paid to speak.
I know some of the people that I've worked with, they think they're going to step into speaking at $5,000, $8,000, $10,000, $20,000 a speaking engagement. It's like, look, unless you've had a lion maul your arm off, or like if you've done something like really intense.
You're an astronaut.
Yeah, you're an astronaut. You know, you saved your child from the belly of the whale or something. Like, it ain't happening.
Yeah, I call those interesting experience speakers.
Yeah.
You know, they've got some crazy thing that happened to them that they're able to speak about.
So what about you? What kind of speaking engagements do you like to do?
Yeah, it's funny. I do a lot of them specifically for innovation women. You know, it's like encouraging other women to step out and talk about their expertise or their experiences. I find a lot of people are like, oh, no, it's not me. I'm like, why not you? And it's not just keynote opportunities either. You know, it's a panel at a technical conference where you're sitting on stage talking about the thing that you do every day. And you're not by yourself. You're with other people. You're just having a conversation. And there happens to be an audience. That's not intimidating. And that's good for your career.
Yeah, it is. I mean, what is it? 98% of people would rather die than public speak. But
it is the number one fear.
For me, it's been the best marketing tool ever. I would rather get on a stage every day if I could, because that is the best way to get business.
Yeah.
If you're wanting to do any kind of business, get on a stage and show people how you do it. You know, let them get a little taste of you, a little appetizer, a little bite of candy, little bite. Then they want more.
Yeah. But I also do speaking around social media, and I do speaking about innovation nights because, you know, we've launched over 1,000 new products that have gotten more than $2 billion in funding. And so people want to hear that story. And that actually brings me to storytelling. People want to hear stories. They don't just want to hear you up there blabbing, you know, process and numbers and things like that. Tell them a story. Tell them your story.
It's so inbred in us as human beings, because I know when I hear somebody say, you know, there was this time that, it's almost like they're like, what? What happened? It is. It's very interesting, and I know I have to too, because I did a speaking engagement a couple weeks ago, and I got recorded, and when I watched it, I thought, damn, now I'm getting into numbers and stuff. I need to get back to the story. The story is what's really important.
And that's what people remember.
It is. What is it they say? It's not what you say, it's how you make people feel that people remember.
Yep, perfect.
Awesome. So talk to me about how you became such a parallel entrepreneur. Like, have you always been an entrepreneur?
No, I worked for large companies. I was the head of global PR for 2 large enterprise software companies. I worked for a number of agencies in the Boston market. I started my career in radio. And, you know, the financial crisis came around in 2008, and the startup that I was working for ran out of money. And all of a sudden, you know, I've got a husband and 2 kids, and my husband stays home with the kids. So somebody's got to go earn a living.
Yeah.
That was me, and nobody was hiring. So all of a sudden, I'm like, all right, I'm an entrepreneur.
I'm going to
do that.
It's like I tell people, you just got to own it. You got to own your space. Just tell people what you do and just do it.
Yep. So I had consulting gigs, and I was thinking a lot about social media and how it could be used for marketing. And I was early to Twitter, kind of loved it, kind of still love it. And I thought to myself, you know, I could do something with this to help other people. And so I know that every entrepreneur, they never have enough money for marketing. And often they've got this product and, you know, it's like, here's my product. I've got to get it to market. I've got no money. So what can I do? So I was also on the board of the Charles River Museum of Industry and Innovation in Waltham, and they used to do innovation days. And I'm like, I could do innovation nights. Their innovation days were all typewriters and printing presses and innovation of yesteryear. And I'm like, you know, one iPhone app, whole new audience.
Wow.
And that first event, we had about 200 people show up and generated a ton of visibility for 10 companies. And I'm like, awesome, that worked out really well. And everybody's like, see you next month. And next week is our 113th event.
Very cool.
Yep, so we just keep doing it.
Very cool. I have a client that's getting ready to do an event for young entrepreneurs from
Nice.
from 6th grade to 12th grade.
And get them started early.
Right? I love seeing them on Shark Tank, you know, little 8-year-old. My family raises bees, so I'm making flavored honey. It's like, whoa, dude, that's so cool. So what kind of, where would I find more of these the younger entrepreneurs, do you think? Because it sounds like you know that you've got the end.
Yeah, we do. There are actually a lot of organizations locally that do great entrepreneur programs. Nasina, which is the New England Chinese entrepreneurs, and Thai Boston, that's the Indus entrepreneurs. Both do great programs for young people. But I think nowadays you're finding a lot going on in the schools. My younger son is 16, and he came to me. He's like, "Mom, some friends of mine are going to do a hackathon at the high school," and I'm like, "Okay, let's talk about how that happens." And I'm like, I know about this, right? And he's like, "That's why I'm coming to talk to you."
Now mom knows what
Mom's
she's
cool.
talking about. Now she's cool.
Mom's cool.
So where do you find 10 a month to come? I'm sure there's probably 10,000, but how do you find them? Where do they come from? How do they pre-qualify?
So everybody qualifies. There's a line, there's a queue, and we don't find them anymore. They find us for the most part. Every month we're creating this explosion in the social media stratosphere, and people take notice. And they're like, what is going on over there, and how do I get myself involved? So it's literally go to mass.innovation nights and submit your product, and you're in. It may take a little while because we've got, I think right now, about 50, 60 companies in the queue, but you need to sign up now to get for your particular event. Sometimes we do theme events.
Nice.
So you need to fit into the particular theme.
I haven't been hitting your events enough, but boy, do I need to. They sound really fascinating. And with all that social media, how many people do you think are going to see our TV show?
Ooh, I don't know. So I have Bobby C on Twitter, and I have Women Inno on Twitter, and I have Mass Inno on Twitter. So
nice. You're everywhere.
Yeah, about 40,000 people on Twitter. And I try to not just go for the numbers. They have separate identities. Like Mass Inno is very focused on the Boston region and Massachusetts entrepreneurs, although we have a good number that come down from New Hampshire. And then Women Inno is focused on obviously women and the other organizations that do gender balance programs. And then my own stuff is very focused on media and marketing and public relations and social media.
So what are some of the coolest products that you've seen come through?
It's like asking me which one of my kids is my favorite.
Right.
It's like, don't get jealous. It's incredible variety. I think one of my favorite ones is just because I get to tell people about it. So there was this underwater dog treadmill. And people are like, the dog is not underwater, the treadmill is. And it was a product that was designed for therapeutic use in veterinary's office. And so the water would support the dog as the dog walked on the treadmill and got exercise as they recovered from an injury. But we've had medical devices, we've had apps, we've had enterprise software. All kinds of consumer products. We used to do a foodie event where all the new products were food or food related.
Nice.
So, with 1,000 products, I love the ones that I can use. It's like, oh, I like that one. The first Mass Innovation Nights event, I actually went home to my husband. He's a musician. And I'm like, there was a product for you. And he's like, really? And I'm like, yeah, it's a product called Note Flight, and allows you, if you're arranging music, to share music with other members of your band. Okay, 9.5 years later, he still uses that product.
Very cool.
I love that. There are products that we use. So Gaggle Amp is a product that we use to help our social media amplification program. We have a gaggle of people that have signed up who have said, I will share my network with Mass Innovation Nights. I am here to support local entrepreneurs, and you send me content and you send me tweets, and I will retweet them. So we use their platform to manage that amplification.
I'm going to have to go back and rewatch this show myself just to find out all these different
Cool
apps.
tools.
Yeah, right? So what are some of the themes that you have coming up?
Well, let's see. Next week we're in Natick, and I'm like 3 or 4 ahead right now. So I'm like, what is next week?
Well, this show won't be aired
yeah.
for 2 more months.
So we have a robotics and artificial intelligence one coming up. Robotics is really popular right now. There's a lot going on in robotics locally. We have our October Women Founders event, and that will be all biotech and healthcare oriented. We do the Women Founders one every year, and so that's part of We Boss Week in Boston, which is Women Entrepreneurs of Boston. And let's see, what else is there? The foodie events, we haven't found a sponsor for this one yet. So we did those for a number of years. Yeah, we're always looking for somebody that wants to sponsor one of the foodie events. Super popular, hard to get sponsored. And yeah, those are a few.
Do you have a code for us today about becoming a speaker on your...
Did we give you a personal code?
No.
That's what we should do. Okay.
There you go.
We're going to have the Cami code.
The Cami code.
All right.
I love it.
So we use your name.
CAMI.
Yes, C-A-M-I.
It won't work right now because she's got to go back and set it up.
Oh, yeah, I can do that super fast.
Okay.
All right. Cami,
Yep.
C-A-M-I,
Yep.
all caps.
All caps.
Shout it out.
Damn right.
And that gets you 25% off your Innovation Women profile.
Which is already, even at the full price, ridiculously, stupidly cheap.
We just want to make sure that people are committed, they're going to keep their profiles up, and they're going to respond to event managers. So we don't want just anybody throwing their profile on there. We want people who are committed to speaking. Mass Innovation Nights, we've been running for 9.5 years as a free event. And I know that, you know, it's not valued really the way it should be. So I wanted to make sure that Innovation Women was valued.
So in the last couple of minutes, what is a good book you've read? What is something that inspired...
I haven't read it yet.
You haven't. But something that inspires you, like what is that one thing that you would say to our viewers? Because you know all about the speaking realm, all these new upstarts, like, inspire me.
Inspire you. Oh, you know, it's funny. I just finished a book that inspired me to action because it made me so angry.
Oh,
so, Brotopia.
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 I've seen the name.
Yeah, Emily Chang. And I met her at South by Southwest. And I read half the book, like, on the plane on the way back. And I had to put it down. I'm like, ugh, so angry. So I picked it up and I finished it. After a couple more attempts, and it was like one of these books, like, you have to read it, and I was like, I can't read it, I'm getting so angry. So it inspired me to, like, push forward on Innovation Women and to get other women out there, because we've got to change this environment. And so much is happening right now that's really good, but we all need to keep working.
So I'm going to guess that Brotopia has to do with it. It's male dominated. And
in Silicon Valley.
In Silicon Valley.
Kind of the realities.
Got it. Well, Bobbi Carlton, it has been so much fun having you on the show. And we're going to sign off now. So the Happiness Jungle, we are happy in the jungle. Are you? Come back and see us on the next show. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.